Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Sherpa Live channel, where I read you those cryptocurrency news articles so you don't have to. How are you doing this fine Thursday night? For those of you in Florida, what's with the weather? Oh my gosh, it feels like California right now. I think it's like 68 degrees out there. It could be colder. I think temperature hit like 54 degrees last night. It was like, woo, I'm loving it, but everyone around me is like, oh, it's so cold, but I'm always dressing for the occasion. Cali never left me. I'm still wearing my jeans. I'm wearing like a long sleeve shirt. If it gets too hot, I just roll down the sleeves. But yeah, it's pretty crazy out there right now. But just a little shout out before we get started to our sponsors of this video. We got Caleb and Brown, your one-stop personal broker to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies. So it's really nice when you're dealing with an actual person instead of just a computer and a machine. If you actually want to talk to someone, you just pick up the phone, talk to your broker, and it's like, hey, can I buy some Bitcoin? Yes, I can. Let's get this started. So that's always a great thing. And then our other sponsor, Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club. We are open. We're having poker night tomorrow. So if you're in Sarasota, come on by. It's going to be a very fun night. So we're going to have live music, poker. I might even pick up some pumpkins for a pumpkin carving contest. This is going to be fun. So come on down if you're nearby. But yeah, I got a couple of news articles for you. As the title says, the BRICS nation, or the BRICS, nears its new milestone right now because they just launched a demo for its new payment system. So are they really going to succeed? Are they going to take down the US dollar system? Because right now it's still the top dog around the world. But like these guys are trying to fight it, and that just means it's better for Bitcoin because, hey, if you don't want to use BRICS, I got Bitcoin to do all my transactions with. But yeah, so that's just one of the articles for you. We got Worldcoin that's changing their logo. They're no longer Worldcoin, they're just World. And remember that guy who hacked into the SEC's Twitter account that pumped Bitcoin back when it was like $40,000? Well, he's arrested now. So fun joke and fun thing to happen. But now he is paying the price. So we got that, and I think one other article for you. So let's dive right on in. If you leave a comment, I'll address it at the end of the video because my screen, I read the news, is right here, and the comments pop up right here. So I may be out of view, but if you want to leave a comment at the end, I will definitely address it. So let's go over these news articles so that way you know what's going on in the crypto space. So again, first up from Cryptopolitan, BRICS launches a demo of its new payment system. So are they going to get an actual card with a QR code on it, or is that just a photo they used? Well, let's find out. Well, in this post, BRICS just launched a demo of the BRICS Pay, a new payment system designed to help countries move away from the US dollar for trade. Russia is calling for an alternative to the IMF, saying the global financial system is too controlled by the West and the BRICS is sick of it. But the US dollar is still holding strong as the most powerful currency in the world, backed by its role in global reserves and international trade. So the US dollar is still the stronghold. It's still around, but for those of us that have been getting into Bitcoin, just buying it and holding it, we don't care for the price. We're holding it just as a security in case the US dollar goes down. We still have a solid asset that we can use for payments out there in the real world. So let's go through this article and learn a little bit more about this demo. So BRICS just dropped the demo of its long-awaited payment system, BRICS Pay. This new payment system is rolling out as the group gears up for their big post-expansion summit in Kazan, Russia from October 22nd to the 24th. So it's going to happen next week. They're going to try it out for 2 days. But Russia this year's BRICS chair is pushing hard to break away from the grip of the Western-controlled financial system. Russian Finance Minister Anton Siluanov, I'm butchering it, but he called for an alternative to the International Monetary Fund to push back against the political power plays from America. BRICS now represents 37% of the global economy and evidently wants to level the playing field. Now, BRICS Pay is breaking down the system. BRICS Pay is being called the cornerstone of payment systems for independent sovereign nations, according to their official website. Chinese officials say that BRICS Pay will give countries more ways to settle goods and services, strengthening economic ties, and of course, it's designed to help these nations step away from the US dollar. Now, financial diversification is the name of the game, and this system is repeatedly meant to boost economic independence across the board. BRICS Pay is a decentralized and independent, I'm not sure if it's decentralized, but that's what this article is saying, but a clear move away from the SWIFT system that Europe uses. Now, BRICS has been toying with the idea since 2019, trying to build a unified payment system that works for all members and nations. By 2020, the BRICS Payment Task Force was already in motion and is finally picking up speed. During the BRICS Business Forum in Moscow, held at the International Trade Center, participants got a sneak peek at the retail technologies behind BRICS Pay. The platform is being designed to handle everything from retail payments to remittances. Now, the push against the dollar right now, the US dollar has been the top dog for a long time, but the dominance has become a problem for nations. Thanks to US sanctions, some countries have been pushed out of the dollar based system, forcing them to look for other ways to handle payments. BRICS Pay is stepping in to fill that gap. Now, the payment system could even be used to support other international projects like China's Belt and Road Initiative. As the BRI continues to grow, BRICS Pays might be used as the go-to for setting trade and investment payments. BRICS added 5 more members earlier this year, being Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Iran, and Ethiopia. Russia's president, Vladimir Putin, and China's president are the ones leading the de-dollarization agenda. Just the other day, presidential candidate Donald Trump said China thinks America is a very stupid country. Meanwhile, Putin's beef with Biden is mainly over Ukraine and the former beliefs that America is trying to demoralize the entire world. But as of now, still though, the dollar still holds strong. For now, so says them. But at press time, the US dollar is still holding on to the position despite growing opposition and geopolitical chaos. It remains resilient of other major currencies. The US economy continues to be the top player too, accounting for about 26% of global GDP. Now, this combined with the unmatched liquidity of U.S. capital markets is why central banks still hold large amounts of dollars in their reserves. About 60% of the global reserves are parked in the greenback, and 64% of global debt securities are denominated in dollars. That's not changing overnight, so don't expect it to just be an overnight thing. That's not going to happen. That's going to be a little time for it. But the potential political disaster that might arise from the upcoming presidential election could make the dollar vulnerable, especially if investors lose confidence due to how the losing party reacts. Analysts and economists are predicting more volatility in the markets and potential disruption in supply chains. This instability could force more countries to look for alternatives to the dollar, like the BRICS system, especially if the Federal Reserve starts making unpredictable moves with interest rates. So we still just got to see where that's going. But again, this all started because the U.S. was like putting sanctions on everything. It's like, okay, we're not going to allow you to use our dollar anymore. Well, I still got the goods. I'm just going to use another system. And like this kind of really started it. And if they got 37% of it now, that's pretty crazy. So we'll see where this takes off. But I've never been following this news since at least I've been covering crypto news articles. So it's just crazy that the demo has finally been launched and Russia's going to try it out for those 2 days. So let's see if it works and if it rolls out anytime soon. So that is our first news article for you. Let's move on to next up, which is Venmo partners with Moonpay, enabling crypto access to its 60 million users. Moonpay announced new ways for the U.S. customers to pay for its services by adding Venmo as an additional option to fund their Moonpay accounts. Now, this is something new. Like if you hold an Exodus wallet, which we usually do promote here at the Crypto Club, like because we know the guys, we trust them. Like if you want to purchase through the wallet, you got to have a Moonpay account, and that's the party they use to make your crypto purchases. Now, if you want to purchase it, you can just sync up your Venmo account now. And I've been seeing Venmo pop up a lot more. Like even when I just ordered Wingstop the other day, you can either pay with a credit card, Venmo, or PayPal. So I was like, that's pretty new. So Venmo is definitely getting out there. So now you can use Venmo to pay for Bitcoin through Moonpay. So pretty interesting. Let's go through this article and hear a little bit more about this partnership. Moonpay has announced a fresh way for U.S. customers to pay for its services by adding Venmo as an additional option to fund their Moonpay accounts, using their balance or other linked payment methods such as bank accounts, credit cards, or debit cards. This release further expands the use of this mobile payment service, which boasts over 60 million monthly active users to facilitate purchases on the Moonpay platform easily and securely. Now, Venmo adds crypto purchases via Moonpay. Venmo would join Moonpay as one of its funding sources to expand the ways to pay for U.S. users. According to the official announcement, eligible users will now be able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies directly on the Moonpay platform. This feature makes it easy and safe for over 60 million monthly active users to start using digital assets, thereby making transactions smoother and more accessible. Now, the new integration follows the recent addition of PayPal as a funding option for Moonpay, further expanding the myriad ways users can fund platforms. However, the new Venmo functionality will not be available to Moonpay users in New York or Texas. So that's kind of common. Like when I used to use the BitTrue exchange out there to purchase some Divi tokens out there. I use that platform. I tried helping my grandfather set up an account with them, but he lived in Texas. I went, what's going on there? So that's when I figured out Texas and New York are really like the worst places to try to acquire cryptocurrencies. But so those are going to be the only two places that you will not be able to use this. But here's that tweet from Moonpay announcing it. So Moonpay, breaking news, Venmo's 60 million users in the US can now buy crypto using Moonpay. This integration lets you buy all your favorite cryptocurrencies using your Venmo balance. Live now and rolling out soon. And looks like I have a little commercial. Let's see. Let's check that out. It's about 31 seconds. So Venmo, woo! Look at that. Let's buy some Bitcoin with it. Chasing coins, Jakey.
Dude, I just saw Sarah pay Moonpay on Venmo.
Imagine if she bought Solana. If she did, you should totally get back with her. She definitely bought Bitcoin. Hold on.
That's pretty funny.
So when can you do that?
So onboard to the world to crypto. 1x at a time. Okay, so that's pretty comical for what they did there for that commercial. I thought it was pretty funny. Your X, we're going to get the role to buy crypto 1x at a time. So pretty funny, guys. But crypto payments are becoming more popular nowadays. Recently, global fiat crypto payment gateways Alchemy Pay marked a monumental stride, banking upon a partnership with Pan-African fintech firm Yellow Card. Now, this is a new era of crypto accessibility out there, so it's getting easier and easier to make purchases of it. Recently, Moonpay integrated PayPal and Venmo to extend users options for paying for their crypto transactions through more familiar and comfortable means. Consequently, with this integration, one can buy any cryptocurrency on Moonpay using a balance, bank, or debit card through PayPal and avoid the unnecessary hassle of manually inputting your details about the payment. Now, integration with Venmo, on the other hand, allows users to fund their Moonpay account balance or link accounts for seamless available transactions. Now, by including PayPal, a widely known payment method for consumers, the onboarding process new crypto users will immediately feel more at home, and the barrier to entry is down, making it much more approachable, said Ivan Soto-Wright, the co-founder and CEO of Moonpay. Now, Polymarket also taps Moonpay to handle election betting mania. In July of this year, Polymarket signed a contract with Moonpay to bring new forms of online payments that allow users to initiate the process for credit card and bank transfer bets. This is ahead of a high interest in the U.S. presidential election, which has further spiked record volumes in the betting platform. Now, if you check out that, I think Trump just got boosted up to like 56 or 57% now. For a little bit, it was like at the halfway point where they're saying, oh, Kamala's going to be it. But yeah, Polymarket is a betting platform and you can just make bets on basically anything. But right now, the hot topic is presidential elections. But yeah, so Polymarket tapped into Moonpay. So if you want to do bets, you just fund Moonpay with Venmo and then go over to Polymarket and place a bid. But this unprecedented betting action had some unexpected twists in the election, including the Donald Trump assassination attempt and the decision of Joe Biden to exit the race. Polymarket is the market operator, said it reinforces the infrastructure for its surge in demand. So yeah, so that's some Polymarket news on top of this Venmo Pay. So yeah, so pretty cool, pretty good news right there. But just making it a little bit easier. Like if you use Moonpay, are you guys going to link up your account with it? So pretty, yeah, let me know. So let's see what else. And I see some comments going down there. I will look at those at the very end. But let's move on to our next article outside of that Moonpay one. Looks like we got some SEC news other than the guy who hacked their account. This I'm going to cover first, but the SEC actions affect Runecoin prices. The SEC filed documents affecting Runecoin's price. Matthew Moravec accepted a penalty for the unregistered securities, and the price of a Runecoin increased significantly after news. And I wonder if this has to do with runes on the Bitcoin blockchain, because that's where you can build tokens on there on Bitcoin's blockchain. So I wonder if this has to do with that, or is there actually a Runecoin? Let's find out. So here we go. So the SEC has increased pressure on cryptocurrency, sharing two files related to Thor. The first file involved a complaint, while the second concerned the acceptance of penalty by the co-founder, Matthew Moravec. Although these filings are not new, they led to a decline in the price of Runecoin. Now, Runecoin decline. Okay, so it is actual coin. It's not Bitcoin runes. The price of Runecoin dropped by 7%, falling to $4.64. This sudden decrease was attributed to news that the SEC filed a lawsuit against Thor's co-founder, Matthew Moravec. The complaint stated that the co-founder was guilty of issuing unregistered securities, which is what they're always going after the people for. But shortly after that, a final file was shared which mentioned Matthew's acceptance of a $574,312 penalty. However, upon reviewing the details in the SEC system, it was found that the complaint was prepared in 2022 and the final file was dated January 2023, even though the lawsuit and penalty are over a year old. Now, the uploading of documents and updates raised alarms, causing a decline in the price of Runecoin, and this summarizes the recent fluctuations of it. So that was a pretty little quick article out there, but yeah, so the Runecoin was declined because of a filing against Thor's co-founder Matthew Moravec. So here's that chart of it. So I never even heard about the Runecoin before anyway, so I don't use it, but if you ever had that coin, you're wondering why there was a price dip, it was because of this SEC's action out there. But let's go on to our next SEC article, which I was talking about, how the guy who hacked their Twitter account is now arrested. So yes, the FBI arrests hacker behind the SEC fake Bitcoin ETF approval. Eric Council Jr. faces charges of conspiracy to commit aggravated identity theft and access to device fraud. So, let's look more. A 25-year-old man from Athens, Alabama, was arrested by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation for hacking the Securities and Exchange Commission official X account in January. According to an October 17th statement, Eric Council Jr. was taken into custody following charges of conspiracy to commit aggravated identity theft and access device fraud. According to the federal authorities, Council Jr. is accused of being part of a group that hacked the SEC's X account in January of 2024 and posted a fake message on January 9th claiming that the SEC had approved the first Bitcoin exchange-traded funds of the United States, and I remember covering that article when it did happen. Now, the fake announcement caused Bitcoin's price to spike over $1,000 following the X post, leading to further shockwaves in the market. Oh, did we just pass $68,000 again? Oh, that's it. Yeah, way to go, Bitcoin. But yeah, when he did make this post, Bitcoin did have a nice little spike at that time. But nearly 15 minutes later, the SEC chair Gary Gensler denied the news, claiming that the commission had not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded products, adding that regulators' account had been compromised. Now, here's that tweet from Gary Gensler when he did say it. The SEC Trade account was compromised and an authorized tweet was posted. They did not approve the listing, but didn't they approve the ETF literally right after that? I keep forgetting when it happened. Was it a couple months after this? But there was so many speculation. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And then we got it, and that's when we saw Bitcoin just truly go up really high. But the hacker gained control of the SEC's account through a SIM swap attack when a hacker takes control of a victim's phone number by transferring it to their own SIM card to bypass two-factor authentication and gain access to the victim's account. Now, these SIM swapping schemes were fraudsters trick service providers into giving them control of unsuspecting victims' phones and can result in devastating financial losses to victims and leaks of sensitive personal and private information, said the U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves. He continued and said, here, the conspirators allegedly used their illegal access to a phone to manipulate financial markets through indictments like this, and we will hold accountable for those who commit these serious crimes. And these are very serious crimes, for anyone, because if a person steals your crypto through a SIM swap attack, this person probably could have gone to your AT&T, your Verizon, Sprint. I don't know, Sprint's still around, but any one of those providers, they go to the storefront and go, oh, hey, I lost my phone, or they will go to them and give them money, bribe them, hey, can you give me this random person's SIM account or SIM card? And some people actually do it depending on how the morals are the person behind the counter, and then that's how they gain access. They bypass two-factor authentication, and then they start moving all your crypto. So that's why it's very important to keep your cryptos in a non-custodial wallet, not on your phone at all, because if it's on your phone, it's basically a hot wallet. So just always take that into account. But according to the indictment, Council Jr. went by an online alias such as Ronin, Easy Money, and A Giant Schnauzer, and he obtained personal information and an ID template with a victim's details from his scheming partners. He then produced a fake ID with his own card printer and used the fake ID to acquire a SIM card linked to the victim's phone at a cell provider store in Huntsville, Alabama. So like I said, they just go to the store. This guy made a fake ID and was able to do it. But after purchasing an iPhone with cash, he used the phone and SIM card to retrieve access codes for the SEC account. He then passed these codes to his conspirators or co-conspirators, who used the codes to post a fraudulent post about the ETF's approval. In return, Counsel Jr. received a payment in Bitcoin, and soon after, he drove to Birmingham to return the iPhone for cash. As per the FBI probe, the hacker later conducted internet searches for the SEC GovHack, Telegram SIM swap, and how can I know for sure if I'm being investigated by the FBI? And what are the signs that you're under investigation by law enforcement or the FBI, even if you have not been contacted? Now, that's also a dead giveaway for why you shouldn't. If you did the crime, why are you looking up it? Like, they have access, so you probably typed it in Google, and then that just like triggered it. So yeah, the FBI and all those guys has triggers and words they look for, and this was definitely a dead giveaway. But Counsel Jr. is accused of unlawfully gaining access to the SEC's account by using the stolen identity of an unauthorized individual to take control of their phone number. According to Principal Deputy Assistant Attorney General Nicole M. Argentieri, the Counsel Jr. is a co-conspirator, then allegedly used the unauthorized access to the account to falsely announce that the SEC had approved listing of the Bitcoin ETF, which caused the price of Bitcoin to rise by $1,000 and then fall by $2,000. And then the council's indictment underscores the criminal division commitment to countering cybercrime, especially when it threatens the integrity of financial markets. Now, just a day following the dramatic incident, the SEC did approve the debut of 11 Bitcoin ETFs on Wall Street. Combined, the funds currently hold over $63.5 billion in assets under management. So again, yeah, so like literally right after they debunked this hack that happened, the next day they're like, oh, yeah, we approved it, Bitcoin ETFs. And that was definitely a big turning point for Bitcoin, because this happened right before the halving. We saw a big spike. Well, it didn't happen right away. It took a couple of months because it was right before the halving, like a few months. But maybe that was why we did see Bitcoin reach a new all-time high before halving happened, because that's usually never happened in all the previous cycles out there. But yeah, so this guy got busted. So don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. Just do everything legally, guys. But yeah, so that was that news for you. Now, our last news article we got in the works is Worldcoin changing their name, and they're launching a new eye scanning orb. Remember that thing where you gotta scan your eye for a little get like a little cheaper discounts on trade, or you get first ups? But yeah, they are rebranding because the old name just isn't working anymore. So let's go through this article. So Worldcoin rebrands as World and launches a new eyeball scanning orb. World's redesigned orb has 30% fewer parts and triple the production capacity of its predecessor, powered by NVIDIA's Jetson. So again, would you use this eyeball scanning orb? Like, I definitely wouldn't, because I don't want them having that information on there. They say it's safe and fine. It's like, no, I'm not going to do it. But this new orb does look pretty cool. Look at it. It's nice and shiny, kind of looks smaller, because again, it's 30% less parts out there and even stronger. But Worldcoin, the project co-founder by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, is branding to World and launching a new version of its controversial iris scanning orb. Altman, alongside Tools for Humanity CEO Alex Blania, introduced the rebranding and updates to its World ID and World app during a keynote presentation on Thursday. We know it sounds crazy, but it is the Worldcoin, as the name just doesn't work anymore, Blania said. Starting today, what has been called Worldcoin will now be just called World. According to Altman, the redesigned orb has 30% fewer parts and triple the production capacity of its predecessor. Powered by NVIDIA's Jetson, the new orb can perform AI operations 5 times faster than earlier models. Now, this enables the new orb to execute sophisticated AI models that prove humanious and operate entirely on devices and even faster than before. Altman said that the new orb was built with more transparency and the ability to audit the code that's running on it. Now, with bots flooding the internet, Tools for Humanity designed the iris scanning orbs as a way for people to prove that they actually exist. The first orbs were placed in Berlin, Germany, in addition to providing proof of personhood in the limited region. The orbs also gave access to the Worldcoin token. Launched in July of 2023, the Tools for Humanity, the World Orbs, were met with fascination and scorn as privacy advocates called it a surveillance tool, and shortly after it launched, France and Germany opened investigations into the project and its orbs. Now, Altman and Blania have sought to resolve feature issues by implementing features designed to assuage regulators and policymaker concerns. It is fully removable SD card that contains all the operating instructions so that anyone can compare those instructions on the SD card versus our published source code. Now, in March, in response to privacy concerns, Altman announced that the Orb's core components will become open source, with its code published on GitHub for public scrutiny. In addition to hardware updates to the Orb during the presentation, Altman and Blania also introduced updates to the World ID and World App. World App will now be an anonymous human layer for the internet, and Blania said, but there's a lot of details that go into making that actually work. According to Tools for Humanity, to better protect user security and privacy, World ID 3.0 uses anonymized multi-party computational to store users' data across multiple parties. World ID will also support government-issued identification like passports and driver's license. There's also the issue of nefarious uses of identity impersonation, which World said it is a concern it is trying to tackle. Now, video AI deepfakes have become an increasingly dangerous form of phishing, with hackers creating fake images of CEOs and manages to dupe unsuspecting victims. To that effect, World is introducing a new feature called Deepface. The tool will compare real-time and stored images to verify users' identity, ensuring that the person interacting with the orb is the same person who initially signed up for it. Now, Tools for Humanity said Deepface is compatible with most popular video call apps, including FaceTime, WhatsApp, and Zoom. Now, I wonder if that's even going to play effect on these YouTube ads out there. Because remember when we were getting a buttload of ads from, like, let's see, popular ones was Ripple's Garling House. You had Elon Musk deepfakes. We had Michael Saylor one, and those ads were popping up like no other on YouTube. So I wonder if this will ever get implemented in that, because that was a big problem where people were falling for the send us 1 Bitcoin, we'll send you 2 back scam, which again, some new guys in the space just aren't aware of that, and they just fall for it. But the World app is also receiving new updates, including a new mini app tab that allows users to download third-party applications. Users will be able to search for others by username or connect with their contacts list. Tools for Humanity head of product Taigo Sada highlighted that the app's broad accessibility, including support for over a dozen languages and more than 50 currencies, as well as compatibility with older generation mobile phones. Now, if you want to build a network that can reach everyone, you have an app, Sada said. You need to have an app that works for everyone. So yeah, so that's what's going on with Worldcoin. New eyeball scanning technology, coming out with deep fake security, and the coin's now labeled World. So again, do you guys even own Worldcoin at all, or did you just didn't even want to be a part of it because of the eyeball scanner? Let me know. But that is all the news I have for you. Let's take a look at that Fear and Greed Index. Where are we at today? We are at a 58. If you ever go on CoinMarketCap, this is totally changed up here now. It used to be just one straight line, but now we're seeing trending coins, trending on DexScan, Fear and Greed Index with the market cap. So yeah, we're at a 58. We're still in a neutral. I think earlier today I saw we were at 60. So this just recently updated. The entire crypto market cap is at 2.31 trillion. I wonder how high we're going to get this year. We're going to surpass $10 trillion market cap? This is way to find out. And then we got the news on the side, top news articles out there. 5 reasons why Trump World Liberty Financial crashed and burned. It didn't really burn at all. It was too popular. Now, Bitcoin is currently sitting at $67,800 right now. So I guess it just dipped below 68 as we were doing this video. But again, so that is all the news for you. Let's take a look at the chats. Who was in here? Aries Axis, what's up, buddy? Thank you for being live. And yes, I am going live now every evening, Monday to Friday. Well, actually not Fridays. Fridays are our poker nights here at the club, but Saturdays as well. Bring you that news. And I got to go to bed, so you have a great night, buddy. Thanks for tuning in for it. But I do hope you guys did enjoy this video and the crypto news updates. And I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.